Hey guys, Zach Spear here, coming to you with MLM Rebels, and today I want to tell you a story that I don't think many people would super enjoy me sharing, and I want to tell that to you today, okay? So when I first got an MLM, it wasn't even when I first got an MLM. I'm going to fast forward a few years. So I got into my first business, and for about 6 years, I built the business with a lot of activity, a lot of passion, a lot of excitement. Basically did everything I was supposed to do, okay? So in those 6 years, we registered something like 45 or 50 personal representatives. Okay, so we enrolled like 40, 50 personal legs in our company, and hundreds in depth. Okay, and now bear in mind, it depends on what company you're from. If you're from like a more newer company or whatever, it's not going to sound like humongous. If you're familiar with some of the big old companies, I'm not going to say the name to totally chastise them, but you probably figure it out. Starts with an A. And if you put that many people in that company, you're like. Wow, one of the top recruiters ever. In fact, I got recognized on stage as being one of the top 5% of all recruiters in our team, or in the entire business. We actually in the top 4 or 5% of all income earners in that company. We weren't making that much money, you guys. And here's why I tell you that. Because at the end of not even at the end, but during those 6 years, I was always like, okay, so I'm being recognized as this top 5%, income earner and recruiter, but yet I'm still working a dumb job because the business has not even come close to scratching my corporate income. I couldn't quit. What the heck? What gives? And so when I would talk to mentors or coaches, or I would go listen to audios and try to get trained, go to conferences and ask questions, and I said, basically why? What's the problem? Is it me? And for all those years, I thought the problem was me. And I think there's a lot of times that we have to just come to the terms that the problem is us, and we have to take responsibility for that, and we have to go and fix it. But there also comes a time where maybe, just maybe, whatever the vehicle is broken. That's what we tell people when they're first coming into MLM, right? They say, hey, the vehicle that you're a part of, a job, is a broken vehicle. It doesn't work anymore, right? Social Security is no longer relevant. Pensions are no longer relevant. That stuff does not work. Let me give you a vehicle that does work. But even within the MLM vehicle, there is processes that no longer work. And when I would ask about the process, or when I would ask about the results I was getting, the lack of results I was getting, all I would be told is to refine the process. Refine the process that was given to me. Get better at this. Get better at talking to people. Ask more questions, right? Get better on the phone. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not exactly the best human being in the world, but I'm not a bad human. I'm not bad on the phone. I mean, I was working hard enough to get way better results than I was getting, so I was so sick and tired of that stupid response. What are you talking about? How can you possibly explain? How can you possibly explain that the entire team that we're a part of, the 20,000 person team that we're a part of, has not actually taken positive growth in 10 years? How can you explain that? Does everyone suck? Or is the entire process broken? So what we started to do is about 6 years in, we started to think what if we could use the internet to recruit people and build our team? I thought I made this entire thing up. Truth be told, I didn't. We walked into it and there was already people doing attraction marketing online. Mike Deal had pioneered the industry, and Elite Marketing Pro and a bunch of other people kind of helped push it forward. So I was like, holy crap, there's people that already do this. So I started to take some things and learn some things, but then the more I learned about attraction marketing, the more I realized I needed to do it better, because what's being done out there right now by some people is not very good. So we wanted to take real legitimate online marketing, the best that we could possibly find, the stuff that's making hundreds of millions of dollars. What if we could turn that stuff, real funnels, real advertising, real duplication, real everything, and put it into MLM, the right way, not the social media recruiting crap, but real stuff. What if we could do it? So we started to do it, and I started to apply it into that company. You know what's crazy though? When I started to do that, we started to actually get results. They weren't huge. We could talk about that another time, but we started to get results. And I started to tell our upline and our coaches, hey, this is the stuff that we're learning. This is stuff that we're getting. And our actual close mentor, they were very supportive, and I got nothing but love for them. They were very supportive. But overall, outside of them, we were met with a lot of resistance. Whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean you could do that? What do you mean you could use the internet? What happens to building relationships? What happens to phone calls? I think you get a lot of value out of making phone calls at Starbucks and training people every single time a new person gets in, training them by having them come over to your house. I think you get a lot of value out of that. I don't know if I want to do that. Wait. But I just told you that I got more people to see my presentation in a day than you did in a year. Did you not hear that? Yeah, but what about... See, here's what the problem was. They were attached to the process. They were married to the process, not to the result. And what I finally started to figure out was, you know what? Like, I was super, super loyal to our team. I still love them. I love all of them. I'm very, very loyal and thankful for the original mentor that we had and some of the downline that we left behind. But here's the thing. If I would have stayed loyal to that process, to that team forever, I would have disbanded and not been loyal to my wife, to my future kids, to my grandchildren, to my parents, because we would have probably died as martyrs. We would have never got the real results that we needed because we were married to a broken process. And here's what I implore you to do. Whether it's with us, whether it's with me and Ashley and MLM Rebels, or whether you make up your own thing, I implore you to chase results, not process. As long as you're moral, as long as you're ethical, and as long as you're creating a true duplicatable asset that can live beyond you, then I implore you to do it. Process is worthless. Results are everything. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.